social structure and pretty much everything. There were major changes within the world, such as the fact that because of the fall of Rome, disease was more widespread, and also empires and Gallic tribes that used to be pretty insignificant because of Rome were actually becoming stronger and developing themselves. When Rome fell, the world pretty much broke down and so did civilization. They changed mostly in religion, though. They actually did something that I thought was kind of unique. They they changed and converted to Catholicism and began to worship the God that many people today worship. Um, there, a lot of them felt that it would be good for strategic reasons. So if they were to conquer remaining Roman tribes, then the people would be more likely to obey them because they would feel that those people are fellow worshippers of God. So this was a very good strategic move for them. But also, some personally believe that there was truly a God within this world, and others just converted so that they could use it to their advantage. The Dark Ages were actually pretty terrible times where everybody was living out in the forest, stuck out in the forest, doing nothing but trying to survive off of only things in the forest. Actually, most people during the Dark Ages were still living in the. A lot of people during the Dark Ages were actually living inside of the ruins of cities, though they did not have protection. The idea that a lot of the people were like out and about in the forest, wandering in search of priests and hoping to survive better is actually kind of incorrect because of research that I did. According to a report, it says that even if you were poor, you were likely to still be able to live pretty decently fine within cities, depending on your location, of course. Some cities were better off than others. A lot of Rome was badly damaged, but it did recover when some of the Gallic tribes began to convert to Catholicism because they were able to be taxed by the Pope. This gave the Catholic Church more power and allowed them to rebuild Rome, not to the standard that it was before, but they were beginning to bring back the ideals of civilization and how it should grow. This light within the Dark Ages did not last very long because it was put out by the bubonic plague and the Crusades. These two very deadly things came through Europe and wiped out large populations, one through battle and war, and the other through disease. The bubonic plague swept through Europe, leaving it scarred and left with almost nothing. But they were able to survive in the end. This led to the Renaissance, which covered up the Dark Ages and brought about a new era of peace, prosperity, and better life. The Crusades, on the other hand, were for the most part unsuccessful and very deadly, and it seemed to be a bit of a waste of supplies. After the Dark Ages ended, it seemed like there was just more darkness in store for them after the bubonic plague and the Crusades came through, wiping out a large portion of Europe's population. But the Renaissance came, and this changed that entire and this changed their entire ideal system. Religion was was a little bit less important. Paintings were made of the common man, and there was just a lot more focus on the common man as opposed to royalty and the Pope and the other and all sorts of other religious, social, and economic figures that were considered to be more important than others. This came about after the Black Plague had ended, and after workers began to rise up against their bosses, basically, and began to really make a change within the world. Getting more so back to the Dark Ages, though, in between the time period between the Dark Ages and the Black Plague, there were actually a bunch of wars going on during the time. Though it wasn't like constant warfare all the time, where people would be in the forest and just randomly get attacked and killed. No, actually, it was more so that there was war that was deadly, but not constant. These wars were mostly between Gallic tribes and the remaining Roman forces. Unfortunately, a lot of the Romans were lost, and the Gallic tribes began to continue reigning until the Black Plague came and they actually were wiped out. Many of them died because of the Black Plague. This was a very bad event because it left Europe without leadership and it crippled it.